All right, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we love to give all glory, honor, and praises to
Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, HAQADASH.
that were honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who were well within this ministry and taught us this unmocking truth. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect that preach the truth about the four corners of the globe. It's going to allow us to do so. Shalom, shalom. All right, once again, we got brothers together. All right, Lord willing, this be a edifying live stream, and as you can see on the title, if death presents itself, all right, unto you, we shall die. We got to die manfully, man. All right, and what does that mean? That means that, you know, within this truth, you have the elect, right? And not all of the elect is going to basically make it to the point where they're going to get beamed up on the chariot. Some elect members are going to have to be martyrs, all right, as the scriptures talk about. And matter of fact, I want to grab this real quick. 1 Corinthians 15:51, it says, behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. All right, and then when you read it in the NLT, it says, but let me reveal to you a wonderful secret. We shall not all die, but we shall all be transformed. Right, and that's talking about the elect. When it says we, speaking on the elect, we shall not all die, meaning what? Everybody of the elect is not going to die, but you're going to have some that are going to be martyrs. So with that being said, we don't know who's going to be those martyrs or who not. So we got to be in that spirit to be prepared to face death when it presents itself, man. All right, and die manfully like our forefathers. The scriptures say, Baruch a brother to grab James 5:10, how the scriptures say to take our forefathers as an example. You know, there's plenty of examples in the scriptures where our forefathers was presented death in front of them for doing what? For keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, or for not committing wickedness. All right, so with that being said, you had some of our forefathers who actually did die, all right, and then you had some of our forefathers, the Lord delivered them before death, you know, came upon them. You brother got that?
This is the book of James, chapter 5, verse 10. Take my brethren, the prophets, who have spoken in the name of the Lord for an example of suffering, affliction, and of patience.
Right, suffering, affliction, and patience. Now, part of that suffering, affliction is death. You know what I'm saying? You think about different bishops of churches who died during persecution. All right, the things that they had to endure and go through. You think about different church. You think about Stephen. You know what I'm saying? Stephen, he was what? He was stoned to death. You know what I'm saying? That was it. And then based off of that, it was a whole persecution. So with that being said, there was a lot of prophets being killed. And the thing that get murdered. Salaki, a lot of prophets being murdered. And hey, it's the same thing about to happen now, man. Especially now because we're directly speaking against Esau, man. We're directly.
Not because we've been Salaki for cutting you off, Jake, but you know we are being charged with treason. All right, for speaking against this man and his system, man, which is going to probably cause us to have to, you know, die for the name of YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI. Hey, but brother can, man, grab the scripture going into how death is precious. The death of the Lord's saints is precious in his eyes. We're praise, man.
Verse on that. James chapter. Oh yeah, go ahead. James chapter 5 and verse 11. Behold, we count them happy which endure. We have heard of the patience of Job and have seen the end of the Lord, that the Lord is very pitiful and of tender mercy.
Right. It said we count them happy which endure. To endure means to make hard, right? Which means you have to go through it, and then you have to literally go through it, man. All right, you have to go through the process and trust YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI that whatever outcome may happen, the Lord is going to deliver you, even through death, man.
Yeah, because death is because death is still a way to escape.
Yeah,
you know, that's still the Lord lifting up a standard, which means a way to escape. Yeah. Because you know, once you're murdered or put to death for the name of YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI, Esau doesn't have the power to put your spirit back into your body and murder you again, man. Right. So it's still you still is an escape.
Yeah, I got a quick one with what Bo just said. This is Sirach 2:10. Look at the generations of old and see that ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded, or did any abide in his spirit and was forsaken?
Hey, that's crazy, because even if a person dies, man, okay, if a person is tortured for the name of YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI, you still get the victory, man. Okay, you still get the victory. Go ahead, brother.
Yep, it said, or did any abide in his spirit and was forsaken?
So, hey, when you look at our forefathers and you go into the, hey, that's what the scriptures are there for. Okay, it's to build your faith, man. Okay, and then also knowing that we are our forefathers, okay, should build your faith even more.
Right.
Okay, because wow, we've been through this, we've been down this road before, man. So guess what? We got to go down it again. But what gives us hope is knowing that it's not going to happen after this again, man. It's the last go around, man.
Yeah. What the Lord say, brothers can help me out. Scripture talking about Cain. He said your sacrifice talking about if your sacrifice is righteous. Man,
if thou doest well,
it's the same one.
the brother about to grab it.
I think it is in Genesis 4, right?
Yeah, I got it.
All right, read that real quick.
This Genesis chapter 4, and I'm gonna start at verse 6. Well, I'll start at verse 5. It says, "But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect, and Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And the Lord said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, thou shalt not be accepted." So like it says, if thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted?
Right, and that's a rhetorical question because that's what the men of the Lord is expecting to receive that reward at the end of this. So if you're doing everything that the Lord has asked of you, you know what I'm saying, should no fear, show no other thought come across your mind than salvation. When you're placed in a situation, your mind should automatically go to, well, I feel as I pleased the Lord. I did what He required of me to the best of my ability. So why would I think anything else?
Right.
That's supposed to activate that austere type of countenance in you, man. When things are presented, you ain't supposed to get weary. If you get knocked off your axis, that means you wasn't doing what you needed to do. Your spirit is gonna reveal what you are in that moment. You know what I'm saying?
Scripture tell you, like if
You
scripture
got it.
tell you if you're
right,
you painting them dead adversity, your strength is small.
Strength is small.
You know what I'm saying?
You
got some more, brother?
Yeah. It says, what you was about to say?
I was about to say that the scriptures say that perfect love casts off fear, and perfect love is the keeping of the commandments.
Right.
Go ahead.
1 John chapter 4, verse 18, it says, "There is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear, because fear hath torment. He that feareth is not made perfect in love."
Fear brings torment. You know what I'm saying? And that does what? It brings doubt. You know what I'm saying? And that chokes faith out of you.
Yeah.
With that being said, what is love perfected? In Romans the 13th chapter, it tells you what love perfected is. Right? And if you love your brother, you're not gonna commit adultery against him. You're not gonna, you know what I'm saying, steal, you're not gonna kill him. So that's how the law is perfected. Through your love of the Lord and your love of the brotherhood, which is the keeping of the law.
And I wanted to speak on that fear, not trying to digress. Stay on, it says 2 Timothy 1:7, "For Yahawah have not given us the spirit of fear," man. Okay? So the Lord ain't gave us the spirit of fear. All right. Once you come into this truth, the Lord does away with the spirit of fear, man. All right. And that's why you witnessed in the scriptures, man, our forefathers, man, and when death was presented in front of them and before them, they chose death, man.
I got a slot
in haste, man.
And to speak on that point too, like you said, He ain't giving us the spirit of fear, but the power of love and a sound mind. And like you said, not digress. So when you come into it, it's like, you know what I'm saying, you ain't got the spirit of fear, but a power of love and a sound mind. You understand if you're being placed in those situations, then you understand why you're being placed in those situations. You know what I'm saying? You understand why you're going through the stuff you're going through. Even like, you know what I'm saying, even when you think about, like, even going into the lesson, even when you think about the Maccabees brothers, you feel me? They understand the things that they had to endure and the things they were suffering were because of their sins, because of their transgression. You know what I'm saying? So as you encounter those situations, you're able to understand, like, all right, I sinned, I messed up, I fucked up. This my judgment. You feel what I'm saying? So I got to pay that forward towards YAHAWASHI.
Brother Shalakia, can the brother please grab the 3 holy children songs?
I was gonna say real quick.
No, okay, you got it, brother.
It's Sirach chapter 41, verse 3. It says, "Fear not the sentence of death. Remember them that have been before thee, and that come after. For this is the sentence of the Lord over all flesh." So you're not even supposed to fear the sentence of death, man. Why? Because we understand death.
That's it.
We understand judgment.
That's it.
We understand that the spirit goes back to the Creator.
That's it.
And we also understand that when you do right by the Lord is going to do right by you, even if you do have to die. You know what I'm saying? Let's say it is your lot for the Lord to take you out. Well, if you do right by the Lord could take you out in a way that's suitable for your spirit. And you know what I'm saying? The scriptures say how the Lord is not going to put too much on you that you can't handle. So if you a spirit, you know what I'm saying? If you a part of the elect and you're a martyr, the Lord not going to put you through no grievous death to the point where it's not suitable for your spirit.
Well, all the prophets, they died a grievous death, but it's the fact that the Lord can put the spirit on you not to feel it. Because even when you go into the Maccabees, it said he didn't even regard the pain. Why you think he ain't regard the pain? Because the Lord had a spirit on. Hey, it's like this, right? Esau got why can't the Lord do that, right? The Lord can't do that, but Esau, when you can go have surgery, he can numb a part of your body to where you can't feel that shit. But you saying that the Lord can't put a spirit on you not to regard the pain? You niggas out of your mind, man.
That I mean, an example of that would be Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego when it was in the fire. Like we always talk about in the Apocrypha, it goes in more depth about how it was like what does it say? Like talking about like a mist when you go into a cool breeze going towards it goes into it being a mist. That's what that cool, like, you know what I'm saying? So we like in a sense numb them to the furnace of affliction, man. You know what I'm saying? But I was gonna make a point, man.
I had a precept to the point that the brother made too, the brother Shamari was making. It's just like going back to that death, you know what I'm saying? Like you ain't to fear death. You know, I got a precept, it's Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 1. It says a good name is better than precious ointment in the day of death than the day of one's birth. You know what I'm saying? So it's literally the day you die is better than the day that you were born into this world.
Yeah, because the day you born is the day you cursed. You know, cursed shall thou be without comers in, and cursed shall thou be without goers out. All right, but you got your point.
Yeah, because brother keeps harping on the word martyr, right? When you go into the word martyr, it goes into being a witness, right? And it's all linked up to a witness, a martyr, and testimony. It's all connected. You see what I'm saying? In prophecy, it's all connected. So if the Lord has set it up where his men were going to have to take part in that, like, which is being a martyr, which is meaning what? Like being it goes into being a witness. Martyr goes into being a witness. So does testimony and so does prophecy. So all of it's connected. So the ones that's actually being, beheaded, killed, murdered, murder, whatever for the Lord, the name of the Lord, that was a part of the Lord's plan, which means that the Lord, just like YAHWASHI, man, you know what I'm saying, or any of the prophets, like, you got to think about it. The Lord has set each person's lot up, all right, each man of the Lord. So he's not going to have it to where, and just, what I'm saying, just speaking as a man, you know what I'm saying, because we don't know until we get in that moment, but the Lord is not going to have it. We gave examples about how the Lord, he can cover us when we go through certain afflictions, man. You know what I'm saying? So the point that the pain is not that grievous to behold, man, even in these bodies, because the spirit that the men of the Lord have is not of this world. And so when that moment comes upon them, it's going to be activated at a higher degree. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to overshadow the current body that we currently dwell in, man.
And also, you got to understand this: when you know something is coming, it doesn't have a powerful effect on you. So it's like, death, when it comes, when people scared to die because it happens unexpectedly, but in our mind, it's like a soldier going out there to fight a battle, man. He knows there's a chance he's not going to make it. Okay. So I just wanted to go into this precept because, death is not, it's really no such thing as death, man. Okay. But death is beautiful, man. Okay. 2 Corinthians 5 and 7, it says, "For we walk by faith and not by sight. We are confident." Well, Shalakia, I'm going to start at 6. 2 Corinthians 5 and 6, it says, "Therefore we are always confident, knowing that while we are at home in the body, we are absent from the Lord." See, our body is a home to our spirit, man. So as long as our spirit remains in his flesh, all right, we're absent from YAHWASHI, man. Right? Verse 7, "For we walk by faith and not by sight. We are confident, I would say, and willing rather to be absent from the body to be present with the Lord." Because we know, man, when we're absent from this flesh and from this corrupt ass flesh, okay, we're in the presence of YAHWASHI, man. And that's why Paul said what he said, man. But he said it's more needful him to, because he knew he had to do the work.
Exactly. Exactly. Which goes back to your point when you said we understand death. We understand what happens after that moment. It's no that we that's the difference between us and the world. We understand, which is gonna give us comfort in that time. We, you know what I'm saying? When Esau's coming down on us, when families turning against us, when your spouse or whatever, children might be all type of shit because the scriptures prophesied about it. When those things happen, it should pop in your mind and precepts, man. We understand what's actually going on.
Proverbs 28:5. Evil man understandeth not judgment, but they that seeketh the Lord understand all things.
Yeah. We're not ignorant in the smaller to the greatest of matters, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna go a long way, even down to the point of some brothers having to take that take it on the chin, man.
Hey, like the brother Channel, finish the mission, man. We gotta finish the mission by any means, man.
Yep, finish the race.
Yep. What you got it, brother?
This Daniel 3rd chapter, because the brothers make reference to the three holy children, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, or Hananiah, Azariah, and Mishael, during the Neo-Babylonian captivity when Nebuchadnezzar, he set up a golden image. And he said, whoever didn't bow down to that image at the appointed time, when the different instruments went off, they would be cast into the lake of fire. It's like they would be cast into the furnace, the fiery furnace. But this is Daniel chapter 3 and I'm going to start at verse 14. Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Do not ye serve my gods, nor worship the golden image which I have set up? So he's asking them basically, so is it true that y'all didn't bow down to this image? And here in modern day Babylon, okay, you got Esau, Edom, okay, the wicked elite of this rulership that we live in currently, got them trying to set up a digital image, which is going to be in the form of the tiny technology. And you're going to have the elect that's not going to bow down. As the Lord said in Romans the 11th chapter, I have reserved unto myself 7,000 men that will not bow the knee to Baal. Now, modern day Baal is going to be the tiny technology. But this, back in Daniel 3:15, it says, Now, if ye be ready, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, with those different instruments, it says, in all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made well. But if ye worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of a fiery furnace.
So that lets you know that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego knew the outcome of what would happen if they didn't go along with the king's decree, man. They knew that death was going to be presented before them. Okay, go ahead.
I was going to say, too, they also knew the outcome of the judgment that would happen if they did worship those items. They feared that more than the judgment of them.
Hey, because the scriptures say, fear not the one who can kill the body, or who can destroy the body and soul and hell. And that's YAHWASHI. Cut the middleman out, man, and fear the source, man.
Right, because now that modern day golden image would be this beast system, man. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where that tiny technology is going to spring from, this beast system. And the majority of our people already thought the need of this beast system. So now the spotlight is on the prophets because we the only ones not bowing the knee. So of course they're gonna want to put us to death, man. And we adamant about it. You know what I'm saying? The Lord has gave us a mind to be hard-headed against this beast system.
And I want to say this too. I remember brother was going into Wisdom of Solomon, the 3rd chapter. But Esau, he listening to these videos, man. And he hear brothers say, you know, we're brothers ready to die for the Lord. And Esau want to see if it's true, man. Esau, he likes to put you to the test, man. You know, they got a term in his word. Hey, even the Lord want to see if you about that, man. You know?
That's why he used Esau as the sword.
And listen to this, the word treason. It says the crime of betraying one's country, especially by attempting to kill the sovereign and overthrow the government, man. So pretty much that's what the true believers of YAHWASHI is being charged with, man. Okay?
Right.
Yeah, I got a quick one real quick, and then you're going to get back to that. This is Wisdom Solomon 2 in 16. It says, we are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness. He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast at the Most High as his Father. And this is a problem to society because they spend trillions of dollars to keep this information from us.
Right.
So that means that now, since we do have this information, now we got people after us. They say about scripture talk about he that departed
from evil make up himself a prey.
So now we're being hunted. You know what I'm saying? We figured out what they've been hiding this whole time. So that means what? They're gonna come against us. So now they're not gonna just come against us like, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, this with the soft. No,
they
man.
coming with a flood.
Yeah, they come. The scripture talking about Isaiah. They coming with a flood. Flood devours everything in its path. Man, they don't have emotions. They don't think about, oh, it's a dog or it's a grandma. No, man, it's taking everybody in its path.
Well, the scriptures also say that the devil has come down unto you having great wrath, which means extreme anger.
Right. So, and when this time when the Lord do that, because it's telling you in 2 15, the Lord is putting ancient spirits back in each man. So, and every spirit is remembering themselves, right? It's applied to every spirit. So if that's the case, we know this time when Esau make his move, he ain't gonna give a fuck what you think about him, man. He's starting to show that now. He's starting to show his horns all over America and all over the great whatever, man. It says, this way, it said, let us see if his words be true. You see, they're going to have to prove, because the Lord is proving this what he's using Esau. And we're going to have to stand on the words which we preach. Yep. It tell you in 2 Ezra 2 that who are this young man that crowned them? It said that these are they that with palms in their hand. It said these are they that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord. Man.
We're going to take the sea here. That's okay. We're going to see,
bro. Yeah, bro.
The Lord said he's going to try our work by fire.
Yeah.
Whatsoever sort of was.
There you go. There you go.
So he's going to try you, you know what I'm saying, just to see, like, you know what I'm saying, if you're going to faint in that day of adversity.
Yep.
That's right, brother.
It says, let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen to the end of him. You see? It says, for if the just man be the son of the Most High, he will help him.
Hey, you know what? Because Satan's job is to what, man? Throw us off track.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, get us to pretty much go back, you know, from serving the Lord, man. So, hey, we know Esau is Satan's physical partner. So that's his Esau's whole main objective is to get us to pretty much fall away from the ways of YAHWASHI and YAHWASHI. But the scriptures also say YAHWASHI said that they shall not be plucked from his hand, roughly paraphrasing, going into the elect, man.
Yep, but check this out. It says, for if the just man be the son of the Most High, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of the enemies. Let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience.
And guess what? Now that's the perfect time for the brother to carry on with that, and then the brother to get that Maccabees, man.
Time.
And whatever else brothers got.
Can I get one more?
Oh no, they didn't come.
It says, let us condemn him with a shameful death. Right, because Esau gonna try to make us as a public example. Oh, okay, you wanna, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you wanna believe in what you believe in, like all the other
you wanna come up against us.
Yeah,
you wanna speak against our ways.
Yep.
This was gonna happen to you.
Yep. He will put
fear into the people.
Yeah, but like the way he'll kill, like murder us, like he'll try to hang us or put us on a gallows. I mean, what's it? The behead, guillotines, like shit like that. That's supposed to be looked at in the eyes of the people as a shameful death.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's not respected.
That's why the scriptures say that they think they do God's service.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're gonna of course they're gonna demonize to basically to make Esau look justified in doing this shit.
Just like what they did to YAHWASHI.
Yep. Bro. It says, let us condemn him with a shameful death, for by his own saying he shall be respected.
Right. Can we get that verse 19 back off the show?
19 and what?
The verse 19. Verse 19.
This is Wisdom Solomon 2 and 19. It says, let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, right?
Right.
That we may know his meekness and prove his patience.
That we may know his meekness and prove his patience. Now we just went into the fact that the Lord he say he's gonna try our work by fire. Or what sort of word? I got that word.
Yeah, let's go.
So you know what I'm saying? When you sit there and you really dissect that through the spirit, like understanding that Esau is sword of the Lord using Esau to try us, to see what we standing on, to see if we really about what we talking about. Because like brother said, the Lord gonna try, he gonna try us, but that's the Lord trying to see what we own. You know what I'm saying? That's that wisdom continuing to carry us by rough ways. You know what I'm saying? To see if we really gonna stand on this word or stand in the face of adversity and stare at the beast in his face and really fight and go through what we got to go through for his name.
I was gonna say, because that's what happened with Job. The Lord placed a bet against Satan.
That's right. So now when you go into this word meek, it says meek towards the Most High is that disposition of spirit in which we accept his dealings with us as good. And therefore without disputing or resisting. So it ain't no resistance in it. You just going like the title of the lesson. If it's brought upon you, then die like a man. You know what I'm saying? You ain't resisting. You like shit. Let's go then. Let's get to it.
That's how the forefathers were.
Come on then. It says in the Old Testament, the meek are those wholly relying on the Most High.
Wholly relying on the Most High, man. Wholly relying on the Most High.
That's right.
So even if death presented itself, you're still relying on the Most High.
Right. That's why Sirach 5:7 says, "Strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee." You know what I'm saying? It says in the Old Testament, meek are those wholly relying on the Most High rather than their own strength to defend against injustice. Thus, meekness towards evil people means knowing the Most High is permitting the injuries they inflict. Woo. And he is using them to purify his elect.
That's right, brother.
And he will deliver his elect in his time.
Beautiful, brother.
The scriptures say, I will bear the indignation of the Lord,
Because I have sinned against
Time.
Can somebody get that
Maccabees, brother.
for that
Time.
3 holy children?
Time.
Yeah. Hey, did you want to finish that Daniel?
Yeah, that's all great.
Yeah, finish that Daniel then, because this book is gonna pretty much go into what they was actually saying in the midst of the fire.
Right.
It's back in Daniel chapter 3, verse 15. It says, "Now if ye be ready, that at what time you hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made well." So he told him, okay, if you bow down, you're gonna be good. But then it says, "But if ye worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of a fiery furnace. And who is that power that shall deliver you out of my hands?" And Esau, Edom go come down with the same theory. Okay, if you take the tiny technology, you're gonna be good. Okay, but if you don't, we're gonna take you to the camp and so on and so forth. However it's gonna play out. That's why I tell you Revelation 2:10. You know,
None of those things without your suffering. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison that ye may be tried. Keep that faith unto death, and I shall give thee the crown of life. Man.
In verse 16, it says, "Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king," so this is their response, "O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter."
They wasn't careful.
They
ain't hesitate. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't shit to think about.
Go ahead.
It says, "If it be so, our power whom we serve is able." Okay, key word is able. Like the scriptures say, nothing is impossible with the Most High. It says, "is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thy hand, O king. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship thy golden image which thou hast set up."
See, it went down to the mindset that they had.
Yeah.
It's gonna come down to how a man think in these times, man. You see, because people don't know that they eat in their mind. Everything you perceive, bro, is gonna have an effect, whether good or bad, in the near future, man. You see, so that what separated them was how they thought, because our minds is connected to our spirit and soul. So that activated a certain essence in them, which allowed them to carry on with the essence of the Lord, man. They stayed rooted, man.
Right, and he said, like, that was basically him saying, "I choose death," because he said, look, if the Lord don't deliver us, and we still not gonna serve this God.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right, because they're rooted. Look, real quick, this for you. This is Wisdom Solomon 3:15. For glorious, no, 14 and 15. It says, "And blessed is the eunuch which hath his hand wrought, which with his hands have wrought no iniquity, nor imagined wicked things against the Most High. For unto him shall be given the special gift of faith and inheritance in the temple of the Lord, more acceptable to his mind." So it's going into his mind. It says, "For glorious is the fruit of good labors, and the roots of wisdom shall never fall away." Right. He was rooted in the wisdom. They were rooted in the wisdom. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter what you had did to them, because they rooted.
Yeah, it said that a eunuch, right?
Right.
And that's speaking on the eunuch of a man who sustains himself away from lustly desires of women to focus more on the ministry. You know what I'm saying? Becoming a eunuch for the Lord. Yep. Because ultimately, man, and not to digress at all, Salakia, but ultimately, women are a distraction. Okay, and when you at war, and you know what I'm saying, women can soften you up and all of that shit. But ultimately, women, hey man, your woman is your closest thing to you. That's why the Lord said it's not good for a man to be alone, and the Lord referred to a woman as a rib But at the same time, our women are against us in this society.
Hey,
So therefore, she's vulnerable to deliver you up into that.
Right. And the scriptures going to the cares and affairs of this life. Yep. Because everything in this, ultimately, everything in it can take your mind off of the mission.
Yeah, like the brother said though, not to digress. When David slept with Bathsheba, Uriah the Hittite wife, he tried to send Uriah the Hittite to sleep with her, but they wouldn't have missed the war at the time. And Uriah the Hittite was like, nah, he wasn't on that. He wasn't on going to lay with his woman. He was in a warlike mindset. Like, I'm ready to fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bringing a point for a circle.
Yeah.
You don't lock it in. He was rooted in.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Rooted.
Rooted in wisdom. Having wisdom acts as a defense unto you. So now you live instead of being consumed. And that's what's coming. Because even, see, I don't know, somebody was reading Wisdom Solomon 3?
It was, yeah.
No, I was in 2.
Oh, no.
I had jumped down to 3, but anyways, in Wisdom Solomon 3, it talks about that in the sight of man, they seem like it was miserable, you know what I'm saying? But we were at peace. So it don't matter if he actually kill us or if he exes out of his society, man. Or murderer. It don't, it's like you're murderous. So it doesn't matter, man. Because it goes back to the understanding and that wisdom. We're rooted. We understand exactly what's going on. And we're going to be raised back up. It's going to be like we never, you know what I'm saying? It was quick. Go ahead.
You grabbed that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I got it right here.
Did you? It was still more on that Daniel?
Yeah, it's a little more.
Yeah, you can put it in.
Back in Daniel chapter 3 and verse 19, this is after they told him that they wouldn't bow down, whether or not they would be delivered by the Lord. They had, like the brother said, go back to your mind, know that integrity. But it's Daniel chapter 3 and verse 19. Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his
and that's that great wrath that Esau about to come down with, man. All right.
And the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Oh, visage. It says, therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 7 times more than it was wont to be heat. And he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. So basically he told them to make the furnace even hotter than it was before. Okay, and then he had them cast into the fire, the furnace of the burning fire. Okay, when you read and the Lord delivered them, he sent YAHWASHI, okay, to deliver them.
Right. But that was pretty much the point. But while they was in the midst of that fire, go into that, bro.
Khan, this is the songs of the 3 holy children, right? A continuation with the brother was reading in the Apocrypha. It says, then Azariah stood up and prayed on this manner, and opening his mouth in the midst of the fire said, blessed art thou, O Yahawah Bashmi al-Shad, the power of our fathers. Thy name is worthy to be praised and glorified forevermore, for thou art righteous in all the things that thou hast done.
So listen, he's in the midst of the fire, praising Yahawah Bashmi al-Shad, man. Right? You worship, you praise the Lord in the good and the bad, man. Yeah. Because it ain't really no such thing as bad. It's all good.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Because I was holding that still, bro. Can I jump back to that?
Yeah, bro.
And I'm gonna jump back. This is going back to Sirach 10. Sirach 2. I'm tripping. This is Sirach 2 and 3. It says, cleave unto him. Damn, Sirach 2 and 2.
Oh,
it says
whatever is brought upon you.
Yeah. That's what
I think it's 2 and 4.
Yeah, I'm gonna start at 2. Damn, start at 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Right, that's a tempting moment. Right, damn, do I trust in what I've been trained up for, or do I just give in and try to save my life now? Those thoughts are gonna be, but we having those thoughts now. How much, that's why this is a fight, man. We gotta, constantly pray and, do the things that keep our spirit hot so that that can happen in that moment. We can fight it then. It says, set thy heart aright and constantly endure. So it's going to be something that's constant. And make not haste in the time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. That's the point. So we trying to be increased at our last end, where it seems like it's no hope, no way out, man. But what happens? The Lord increases. You see? That's
but Jake, it's still some more.
Con. It says, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully.
Yeah, whatever is brought upon you, we got to take it cheerfully. Because we know that this is precious in the eyes of the Lord.
That's understanding that that's your lot. You know what I'm saying? That's understand. That's that John 16:33. You know what I'm saying? He said, "Me, you shall have peace." When you go into that word peace, it lets you know being content with your life.
Yeah, to back you up, YAHWASHI prayed for that.
Yeah.
In St. John 17, he said, "I'll pray that you take them out of the world, but you keep them."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what YAHWASHI prayed, because he knew we had to go through this. We have to go through this as necessary evil.
That's right.
That's coming to the men of the Lord.
And when you go into this word cheerfully, it says in a way that displays happiness, man. So we got to be pretty much happy. Okay, we got to be take it cheerfully, which means, hey, man, we got to be, hey, man, why wouldn't you be happy to be a part of this, man?
Yeah. Your job about to be over with, basically. I mean,
you going down in history, man. In the kingdom, they gonna be like, man, you the one that, you know what I'm saying? You going down in history, man.
Yeah, because we understand. Go back to what Shamari was talking about earlier, that we could smile in the midst of all this because we understand, bro. We're like, this ain't it. This is what the scripture talking about. It's like a vapor. It's like a dream, a mist, a shot. It's gonna pass away quick, man.
Hey, and then it says, back in the brother's point of, like, pretty much accepting your lot. It says, readily, like, bro, pretty much ready to, like YAHWASHI was ready, like, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, go back to the point I was just gonna make before you said that. It's just because it's like, wow, it's like, all right, boom, you doing all this training, right? It's like these athletes, they do all this training. You going through the summer camps, you doing all this, and then you get the game day. I did all this shit to get the game day and not be ready. I'm piped for game day. I'm ready for game day. I'm turned up. You feel what I'm saying? So why not be turned in the spirit when it get here? That's like, damn, that moment finally here. Okay, boom, that light fell upon you, and knowing you're gonna rise first. Why wouldn't you rise to that occasion? Go ahead, bro.
Because it goes, what brother saying, says, jumping up to the first chapter in 11, says, the fear of the Lord is honor and glory and gladness and a crown of rejoicing. That's why we can rejoice in these moments, because we fear the Lord. We understand that He's in control, so therefore it's a crown of rejoicing. It's a certain status that comes with it, and we uphold that, man. When you jump back down to the second chapter, 4, it says, whatsoever is brought upon you, take cheerfully and be patient without our change to a low estate.
And which patient meaning suffer. All right. Yeah. Yep. So, hey, man, we got to take it cheerfully and suffer.
Yep.
And that's why the scriptures say, fear none of those things without shall suffer.
Right.
Fear, don't fear. Hey, I always make mention of this song, man. Brothers got to hear it. It's called Miracle. But like in the song, man, Whitney Houston said, we are, and like I said, man, some of these songs, man, were made just for the elect to hear them, man. All right. The Lord put the spirit on some of these artists to make these songs just for us, man. But in that song, she said, we are not afraid, even though there's much to fear. It's so much to fear, man, but we ain't going to be afraid. We're going to trust in the Lord, man.
Because it says, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Yeah, because like being accepted, man. That's why.
But go back in that.
I'm right here. Yep. So continuing in the Song of the Three Holy Children, in verse 3, it says, for thou art righteous in all the things that thou hast done to us.
And that's meek.
Yeah.
That's an example of, the brother brought out the word meek. That's a prime example of meek. Accepting it, just pretty much knowing that the Lord is the one of putting these things upon you, and accepting it, knowing that it's because of your sins.
Yep.
Right?
7 children.
That's what I'm about to do.
That's right.
Said that. It says, yeah, true are all thy works. Thy ways are right. Right. Everything that happened upon these and everything that happened in the world is justified. See? It says, in all thy judgments true. See that? It just said it, just confirmed it. It says, in all the things that thou hast brought upon us and upon the holy city of our fathers, even Jerusalem, thou hast executed true judgment.
And they are in the midst of the fire, man.
Yep.
All right. And man, come on, man.
Yep. Yeah, and what they're doing is they're maintaining integrity.
Yep.
They're maintaining,
like Job did. When his wife took curse the Most High.
Yep.
He like, look, man.
Yep. He maintained integrity, even though he got everything took from him. Like that's the worst thing that happened is torture, and you can't die. Like, because he said don't take his life. So Job received all the things on him, and he wasn't going to be able to perish to get away from the pain. He just had to go through it, and then eventually the storm cleared and so forth. So that's come on, man. We gotta have the patience of Job, man.
Right. And they telling how long it was in that furnace.
Bro,
they don't say how long it was in there.
But it got to be for a while if they was the
exactly.
Bro.
That's the point. It was in there for a minute.
It was in there for a minute. And then think about Daniel and the lions then, man. The scriptures say, look at the generations of old. Daniel in there with some lions, it ain't 8. And he like, look, man, look. Like, it is what it is, man. Because after this, man, ain't nothing you can do to me, man. That's the mindset. It goes back to that mindset, man. But the ultimate, thing to look upon is the death of YAHAWASHI, man. That was just, he was the ultimate example of how to die manfully, man. Because YAHAWASHI died the grievous death known to man.
We're gonna keep going on this.
Bro.
It says, and all things that thou hast brought upon us and upon the holy city of our fathers, even Jerusalem, thou hast executed true judgment. For according to truth and judgment didst thou bring all these things upon us because of our sins.
There it is. That's me.
Yep.
And that was it, man. That was just to back the brother up.
Con. Anybody know what that specific verse is when they said the cool? I know it's like, said the cool breeze. You said who? Oh, here you go, right there you go. I'm right to it. Why they have a shot? They talking about. They said, I'm gonna just read it. It says,
back up.
Con. This is Song of the Three Holy Children, verse 25. No, 23. So that the flame streamed forth above the furnace 49 cubits, and it passed through and burnt those Chaldeans and found about the furnace.
Right. So going back to the story, that's when the king commanded his soldiers to do what? To heat up the fire even more.
Yep.
And now
extra clothing.
Yeah.
Yep. It says, but the angel of the Lord came down into the oven. Woo! Came into the oven, man. Came in the midst, like it tell you in Wisdom Psalm 18. Thy almighty word leaped down off thy royal throne into the midst of the land of destruction. The Lord, he dove right into the midst of it, like he coming back, and in the midst of World War III, the Lord gonna come right in the middle of everything, man, and set shit straight, man.
Right, and that angel was YAHAWASHI, because when you read Daniel 3, the ones who seen the angel in the furnace, they said likened to the Son of Man.
There you go.
So that's talking about YAHAWASHI.
Beautiful. It says, but the angel of the Lord, so the brother gave the clarification on that. But the angel of the Lord came down with YAHAWASHI into the oven together with Azarias and his fellows, and smoked the flame of the fire out of the oven, and made the midst of the furnace as it had been a moist whistling wind, so that the fire touched them not at all, neither hurt nor troubled them.
And see, the Lord gonna do the same thing for his elect when the fire comes down on America. Man. When the fire comes down on these different nations that's gonna go to war with each other during World War III, the Lord is going to deliver his elect out of that fire, just like he did Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego.
That furnace being turned up right now by the different prophecies, like the tiny technology. That's a part of the furnace being turned up. But we got to go through the hour of temptation. Right. You know what I'm saying? Other things. All the races.
That's going to turn the furnace up.
The
MOTB is going to be the ultimate turn up for the furnace. Right? Because that's when the persecution is really going to crack down. All right, when the MOTB is made mandatory, that's when the persecution really going to crack down. Why? Because that's the hour of temptation. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I got y'all brothers got it. Whatever precept y'all. Couple closing. Yeah.
This is Isaiah chapter 43 and verse 2. It says, when thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee, and through the rivers they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burnt, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. So when Esau come down like a flood, and like brother was saying, when the fire get turned all the way up, which that's making reference to the hour of temptation, when the tiny technology made mandatory underneath the penalty of death, the Lord said that we ain't gonna have to worry, basically. It says, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. He said that we shall not be burnt, just like with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They was cool. And what was they doing the whole time they was in that fire? They was praying to the Lord, which shows that they had faith.
And that's crazy because I had that dream, that vision of thermonuclear fire and they being on me, but I wasn't being burnt. You know what I'm saying? But it was on my body. You know what I'm saying? But I got one, and then you got one. All right, this is Isaiah 50. And then you got a closing one, right? Matter of fact, Jay, you got it, bro. You can bring yours up, and I'll get it.
just going into back into the lesson, like just having a certain spirit, like, having a man like mindset, when you face with adversity, or even if we face with death, And I'm gonna grab this second back to B. This is 7, and I'm gonna start at verse. I'll start at 16. It says, "Then looked he unto the king and said, Thou hast power over men, thou art corruptible, and thou doest what thou wilt. Yet think not that our nation is forsaken of the Most High." It says, "But abide a while,
Right.
and behold,"
If I may, because you just read 17, right?
16.
16, yes, 16. And he said, he has power over men, because right now Esau has power over men, which, because in 1 Corinthians 15 it say the Lord is coming to put last enemy under his feet, which is death. Esau is as death. He's the one who embodies that vibration.
But go ahead. Right. But the scriptures also tell you, fear not what man can do to fear not what man can do to your flesh, but fear what the Most High can do to your flesh and your soul.
Yeah, we quoted that earlier. You know what I'm saying? It goes perfect until what you read.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he the one that got the power over that.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
But he tell him, he said, he talking shit to him.
Right.
He said, "But abide a while, and behold his great power, how he will torment thee and thy seed." It says, "After him also they brought the 6 who being ready to die." Said,
being what?
Being ready to die. That's being ready.
You
know what I'm saying? Of a ready mind. He says, being ready to die, said, "Be not deceived without cause."
Yeah, because the scripture say, "Guard up thy loins like a man."
That's right.
Like, because why we guard up our loins? Because we were in battle.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We would make sure it wasn't no loose ends. You know what I'm saying? That's why in the battle, you really saw, well, it's not supposed to see men with long hair in the battle, because it could get pulled and caught on something. You know what I'm saying? It's an example of that in the scripture, right? Nigga hair got caught in the scripture. Yeah, there you go. So that's the point. The point is that he was ready for the battle, man. Guarding up our loins, because we understand we at war. We know that we getting closer to the end. The closer you can get to the end of something, it's the most intensified part, man. It's because you've been through it long. You know what I'm saying? This happened, that happened. You got it out.
It says, "After him also they brought the 6 who being ready to die, said, Be not deceived without cause. For we suffer these things for ourselves,
right,
having sinned against our power. Therefore, marvelous things are done unto us."
And that's a part of being being ready to die manfully, because he understood we deserve that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't shit. So that's a part of that too. There you go. That's a part of being a man. Shit. Like, I'm being honest, I'm being truthful.
Yeah.
People are not men in the society. They're not willing to stand up for what they believe in, stand up for character.
Like, understanding, like, I fucked up.
Yeah,
like,
I did that.
I think that's in the book of Romans. You know what I'm saying? How he talk the scripture tell you, like, you know what I'm saying, for what is it for man suffer, you know what I'm saying, when they do wrong, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying, how it's more pleasing in the sight of the Most High for you to suffer when you ain't did shit wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the lot he fulfilled.
I was gonna say, because it's a manly thing to not complain when you catching hell.
That's right.
Yep.
I was gonna say, because that's what's the brother reading. They not complaining. They actually owning up. They taking accountability.
That's right. Accountability. That's it right there. That's it.
And I was gonna say the thought of balance in it, because you did have prophets that did complain to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? It's just the difference is that they understood. Because even like YAHAWASHI, when he was on the cross, he said, "Lord, I'm saying, why hast thou forsaken me?" But then okay, I understand, bro. And he said, "You know what? Right." You know what I'm saying? He ain't got no respect. I knew exactly what's going on. You're right.
That's right.
And he gave up the ghost. You know what I'm saying? He said it's finished. And he gave up the ghost, as the scripture says. So that's the difference. It's just that we understand, right? We might even have moments like, "Damn, bro," you know what I'm saying? This, that, and the third. But we understand.
Yeah. That's just the flesh.
That's just the flesh, exactly. Was that in there?
No, it's still a little more. It says, after it says, Salaki, verse 19, it says, "But think not thou that takest in hand to strive against the Most High, that thou shalt escape unpunished."
Because that's what Esau Edom is doing. That's what he has been doing. He coming against the Lord through coming against his people, specifically his men that he set up.
And it said, "Touch not my anointed, do my prophets no harm."
Right. It says, "But the mother was marvelous above all, and worthy of honorable memory. For when she saw her 7 sons slain, Within the space of one day, she buried with a good courage because of the hope that she had in the Lord. Yes, she exhorted every one of them in her own language, filled with courageous spirits and stirring up in her womanish thoughts with a manly stomach. She said unto them, I cannot tell how you came into my womb, for I neither gave you breath nor life, neither was it I that formed the members of every one of you. It says, but doubtless it says, that was pretty much the point right there. I could keep reading. But it says, she said, you know what I'm saying? She told him, basically, you know what I'm saying? She told her son to die like me. You know what I'm saying? In verse 5, I wanted to jump down. It's in the 5th verse. She told him to die like men. Die manfully.
I'll say, read the next verse.
Time. It says, but doubtless the creator of the world who formed the generation of man and found out the beginning of all things will also of his own mercy give you breath and life again, as you now regard it, not your own selves for his law's sake.
And that's the point. He said he's going to give you breath and life again. That's why you're supposed to be willing to die manfully if the opportunity is presented, because we know that we're going to live again.
That's right. Yeah, that we, like you just said, we take recognition for our faults. So we what the world is doing, what they did back in the garden, they were like Esau. He's on the run. He hid because he was guilty of his conscience, and like, oh shit, he tried to hide from the Lord. No, we taking accountability, man. That's the difference. We taking accountability, which that's an honorable sacrifice unto the Lord. You know what I'm saying? That's a righteous sacrifice, man.
Yeah, because 2/3 don't want to take accountability.
Right,
that's why the Lord said they until they acknowledge their offenses.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Come on now.
No.
To give you that look.
But I got to close. All right, this Isaiah 51:12. It said, I am he that comforted you.
Oh, so
go ahead. Let's go.
It's like, did you get the definition?
Oh, you got the definitions?
Yeah, this is the definition for the word man, the online etymology. It says brave man, hero, also servant or vassal.
It said what? A servant?
It says brave man, hero, servant, vassal.
Right. It said a hero, a servant, right? But it said hero, that's the elect are heroes into the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? Through the spirit and power of YAHWAH, man. It talked about that in Obadiah. He shall send saviors. You know what I'm saying? So the elect are heroes unto the nation, man. They tell you that in Romans 11. That I counted them all in unbelief, that through your grace or fault, he might have mercy upon them all, roughly paraphrasing. Go ahead,
If you go word manfully in the online etymology, says with manly courage or resolution, valiantly, nobly.
Bro, so that's what that's why he's like, even when going back to the mother, he said she was worthy of an honorable memory. Like that was a woman. And he said, with her thoughts, she stirred up a manful spirit in her.
Right. He said
to speak only things that a man could in that moment. Only the things that a father could. They don't mention their father, they mention their mother.
Other scriptures going to how a woman should be saved, that she remain
they continue in the faith.
Continue with the faith. Because I believe the father was perished, right?
They don't go into it.
Yeah, Shalaki.
No, they don't go into
it. I know the father wasn't around.
Yeah, that's right.
And the mother continued.
Right.
Pretty much what she learned from her husband.
You feel me? That's why I say, like, bro, he put a manful spirit on her to speak those things. Because that's why I said it didn't make mention of her father.
Because when the father ain't around, the woman is going to take on that man. Right. She execute. That's just like a prime example.
Yeah.
When the children was upstairs, the real was like, hey, quiet down. Yeah. And you was just about to go up there and say that. She took on that.
It say that. It said she took on her womanistic, or roughly paraphrased, it said something to that effect. Like she took on her womanistic ways, or something like that. Which means she
pretty much put him off.
It took on I'll bring that verse back. Just second Maccabees 7:21. It says, yes, she exhorted every one of them in her own language, Hebrew. You know it. Filled with courageous spirits. What the brother just read in the definition. It says filled with courageous spirits. Spirits. It was meaning it's plural. It wasn't singular. It was plural. More than one. It said, and stirring up her womanish thoughts with a manly stomach.
That's it.
She said unto them. She spoke as a man to them in that moment, as a father would to his son.
Don't say, but we know that was something that was carried on to her through her husband.
What right? Which ultimately, what is it saying? It's saying that she stood stiff, like she stood on her ground, like, you know what I'm saying? Because usually women are emotional and they react all different.
Especially watching your children being put to the devil.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
Come on, man.
Exactly. So what she did, she came in a certain spirit, like a man would, a man at battle,
Bro.
or a man against the wall, back against the wall, a man that has to, a man, you know what I'm saying? That's has to fight,
right.
man.
Yeah, that proves she got faith.
That's right.
That's it.
Just like Abraham when he was about to, when he was gonna slay Isaac, man. That, you know, with no hesitation,
right.
Man. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the spirit, though, because like you got many examples in the scriptures of how to be a man or carry a man like mind state, you know, in a day of adversity. I remember me and the brother HAQADASH, we was talking one day. I had to grab some food and we was talking about the stuff that's coming. And that's exactly what we talking about. Like, you gotta think about it. You got the Lord said the mighty man gonna cry there bitterly when all this stuff get taking place. You know what I'm saying? And so when you sit there and think about it, it's like, bro, look at the mindset she had in the face of adversity. It's gonna be men that ain't gonna be able to muster up the spirit that the Lord ain't gonna put this spirit on to be able to do them things. Like a man.
Yeah, and that's
get this close.
Go ahead, bro.
Close out. It's Isaiah 51:12. It says, I, even I am he that comforted you. So the Lord is gonna comfort us in that time, man. All right. It says, who art thou that thou shouldst be afraid of a man that shall die? Okay. So why should we be afraid of a man that shall die, man? Right? Because he got to be faced with death too, man. It says, I'm gonna just read it back. Isaiah 51:12. I am he that comforted you. Who art thou that thou shalt be afraid of a man that shall die, and of the Son of Man, which shall be made as grass, man. Okay.
Which the sons of men is what? These heathens.
Yeah.
You know, and the Lord is going to do what? He's going to show them as to be human beings.
What did you do to grass? You mow that shit,
man. And that shit wiggle off in the wind. Go elsewhere. All right. So back to the point of the lesson, man. If death is presented unto you, die manful death, man. Die manfully. Okay. As we just brought the definition, die nobly.
That's
you know, die with courage. You know, and valiantly. All right. So with that being said,
bro. The brother gonna end it with this precept that I wanted him to bring out earlier, just to close it out.
Yeah, Con, that's beautiful too. That's Psalms 116 and verse 15, and it reads, "Precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of His saints." You gotta go.
Right. Precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of His saints. Why? Because that's the ultimate sacrifice that you can give.
That's right.
The scriptures say that there's no greater love than a man that laid down his life for. You know what I'm saying? And YAHAWASHI laid down his life for, starting first and foremost with the elect. So therefore, you're gonna have certain men that's gonna have to return that favor with their life, man.
Mm-hmm. Hey, the scripture say, present your body as a living sacrifice, man. You pretty much make yourself an offering for the Lord, reasonable, right? Which is your reasonable service. Right. The least you could do, right?
Which is able. The reason why we getting joint heirs with YAHAWASHI, because we're doing the same thing he did.
Drinking of that
we got to drink of the cup and do what he did, the sacrifice and the prophesying, and everything that the Lord embodied when he came on the scene as himself. Right. We're doing it. The prophets is doing it. So therefore, what's the reward? We're gonna get the same reward. Joint heirs with the Lord, man. Right. So that means we got to do the same thing. Go ahead. You got it, Coach.
Right. So Lord willing, this is an edifying lesson and also an exhorting lesson. All right, giving all glory, honor, and praise once again to YAHAWAH,
BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, HAQADASH.
Closing out, giving double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone who were well within his ministry. Shalom, shalom, and Mawaf,